This is an Insane Cast production. You're listening to Thanks for Watching the All Movies Podcast. With your cast, Beth, DJ, Jimmy, and Adrian. And now, thanks for watching.
Welcome to episode 1818. I just was waiting to say that. I've waited 18 episodes to say it's episode 1818.
That's amazing.
That's pretty fun. I mean,
That's really
mathematically, what is it? 36?
Something
like
depends
that.
how you take it.
Yeah. Well, let's not nerd out too much on that. Let's nerd out on introductions. Hey, I'm DJ, hanging out over here. And right across from me, or to my right.
Jimmy,
Yay,
how are
Jimmy.
you?
Fantastic. How are you?
Very good.
Yes, I love it.
I'm regressing to my NPR day.
Oh, NPR Jimmy. There he is. Which is going to be interesting because I have all this built up energy right now. And so facing NPR Jimmy, this is going to be a yin-yang show.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Yes. If we had a title other than episode number, we could probably title this the Yin Yang Show.
Yin Yang.
Yeah, that would be a good title. But in the meantime, here is our contact information. Give us a call at 512-PODCAST. That's 512-763-2278. But you don't have to write that down. Oh, no. All you got to do is go to our website. Our website, www.tfwmovies.com. You know that TFW stands for Thanks for Watching. So go to www.tfwmovies.com. And right there you can click on a little link that says Call the Show. It's an amazing thing. I love technology and how that works. There's another button on there that you can press. That little button is an email. Yep. You can send us an email at shoutout@tfwmovies.com. And let me spell it out for you in case you can write it down super fast. Ready? shoutout@tfwmovies.com. Now, there are a few other cool things. We have Facebook. We have Twitter. We have Instagram. All those things at TFW Movies. You can tag us. You can just say something about us. You can hashtag us. Hashtag TFW Movies on whatever you want. I like the Instagram. That's kind of fun. So check us out there. We've got over 50 posts by now. So check us out. See what we're posting. There you go. Do it. Yeah. So that's our contact stuff. There you go. It's been fun. And remember, you can always text that phone number. I think that I failed to mention that you can text 512-PODCAST. And that's probably why we haven't had a text in a little while. And so I'm looking at you, Blue Diana, right now, staring through the radio. All right, that's enough. I'll stop doing that.
Creepy.
It might have been. Check out our website for a few cool things. We have launched Patreon. We have thousands of members now, just so you know, which is really cool. Okay, we don't really have thousands of members, but it's there just in case we have a new member that's ready to, chip in and help us out. And now let's talk about our rundown, what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about Upgrade. We're going to talk about Adrift.
Not a drip.
Not a drip. No, Adrift. We have a challenge again, and we'll talk a little bit about the last challenge of last week. We have some next week openings and future films. Do you sense a pattern for this show?
No.
No? Okay. Well,
Nothing.
I was hoping to have some sort of a pattern, at least, for those people that are OCD that need a pattern. And there's those people that don't need or don't want OCD or don't have OCD, we will be throwing a wrench in there every once in a while. Like next week, we'll probably talk about Father's Day movies to watch. just because.
Craziness.
Isn't that craziness? Because the week later is Father's Day weekend, which will be fun.
Oh, it's that time again.
It really is that time again. We just left Mother's Day, and we did talk about some Mother's Day movies, but that was because of the film we watched with the mom that was like totally supporting her
So
kids.
if we're putting this in context for Mother's Day, would it be Father Death Day?
Oh, when is that? That's another day we have. Actually, we missed that one too.
Yeah.
That was just recent, very recent. It's like right before Mother's Day. I'm pretty sure, but one of our wives will straighten us out on that, and then we can fix it up all next week. How's that sound?
Yay.
On episode 1819. But instead, let's talk about Upgrade, shall we? Just because we're getting started here.
Okay.
Yeah. So Penny and I went and watched that one. Did you go see that with me when I wasn't looking?
No.
Okay, got it. Okay. So here's the deal. And it sounds like we have some preliminary questions that we need to answer every time, which I like, by the way, because I could just say random stuff all day long. So this is good. It's kind of a text. Wait, not a text. What do they call it? A script? But it's improvisational. Anyway. Okay, my favorite scene and why. So my favorite scene is the first time Gray Trace, played by Logan Marshall Green, the first time he learns about STEM and his abilities. STEM is a computer chip implanted into his spinal cord. Basically, his spinal cord was severed, and so this chip connects to the top half to the bottom half. Again, like I was saying, it connects the brain function to the spinal cord, so it sends a signal to everything. It's like a liaison. It like helps the signal cross the barrier that's been severed. So anyway, this particular chip now it helps the guy move, and by taking his brain waves and changing it to whatever it would be called, whatever makes your hand move or your legs move or what have you. So that's what that does. So when STEM can also send signals to the brain. So STEM now will speak to Gray. So Gray thinks he's hearing things, but he really is. He's hearing this chip talk to him. So pretty cool, I think. Neat stuff. So this is one of my favorite scenes. STEM starts talking to him, and his biggest thing is, okay, am I crazy? Am I going crazy? And STEM is trying to convince him that he's not crazy. And then that extends to the very first time Gray kills somebody. Yeah, this is definitely...
First time.
Yes, the very first time he ever kills somebody.
Like there's additional installments.
There are additional installments. But, see, it was STEM who did the killing, technically. STEM just used the body of Gray to do it. STEM had full control, which is the little computer chip. Anyway.
Got it.
Yeah, so anyway, that's how that went. And, of course, the first kill, the entire audience laughs hysterically. And really, it's the reaction that Gray had in doing such a thing, which I thought his reaction was actually pretty funny. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm taking your word for it again.
Okay, good.
I'm not super sold on the whole story, but
yeah, I mean it takes place in the future, 2040, 2030 something. I don't remember the exact year, but it was really far into the future. Maybe not 2030 or 2040 because that seems not far enough.
No, it doesn't seem very far at all.
But they did have driverless cars, which were really cool. My takeaway from this film is robots are going to take over the world. that's how it's going to work. We're gonna make artificial intelligence so intelligent that they're going to just run everything, and we're not going to have to do anything. Hopefully, we'll see.
I struggle with that.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, but
Right. Well, then you get into like the Matrix and Terminator, how machines just run everything, and we don't have anything of our own anymore. So, but let's see. What did I learn new? Driverless cars are coming, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. It's going to be a thing eventually, which I think is pretty cool. I think it'll be neat. Something like on the lines of iRobot, another artificial intelligence having complete control over our vehicles, making us
iRobot. I don't think I saw that one.
With Will Smith. Oh, we have it. I'll let you borrow it.
Did I see that?
I don't know. Let's see. My overall impression. So, here's the thing. The opening of this film was not very smooth. It was... I felt like the writers had a great concept of this film, but that just wasn't really fluid. How to introduce all the characters without giving too much away, because there is a great plot twist in this film, which is pretty awesome. When he starts hunting the people that killed his wife and starts like finding out more information, the end, pretty interesting. The results that he finds out, very interesting. Big plot twist, just so you know. So, and as far as audience reactions, there were a lot of guys in this audience that are very testosterone driven. It's like they all wanted to see fighting. And
no way.
They certainly got what they wanted. And Gray's reaction or body language was very much like a robot when STEM was working versus when he was working. It was pretty interesting. I think the gentleman did a really good job at portraying the difference between himself, human, and the little computer chip.
Who was the gentleman?
Well, his real name is Logan Marshall Green. And, honestly, I'm not exactly sure what else he's in. But, I mean, I think I've seen him around, definitely with other things, but I'm trying to figure out what it was that he's done. He did play, in Spider-Man. He played, Jackson Bryce?
Jackson Bryce.
Something like
that. I have no idea.
Yeah. He was in a film called Sandcastle. He was in Snowden. He played a male drone pilot, I guess. So he's had bit parts. He hasn't really had, any major parts. So this might be one of his first. Yeah. So he's done some TV spots, and I'm getting all that from IMDb. So if you ever wanted to check it out for yourself, go look at Upgrade, on the IMDb, because that's...
I may.
Yeah.
If that ends up being a movie that I don't know.
Yeah.
My friend Shelley and her young son Angelo actually watched it, and maybe we'll be able to get a little feedback from one of them next week.
Okay, well that'll be fun.
Yeah,
get a little bit of what they're talking about or what they're doing. There was some violence that seemed a little unreal. For instance, like the first time he killed somebody, it just seemed really weird or out of place. So, which was actually quite funny. So there are a few scenes where things happen that are pretty violent, but it's done in a way that you have to laugh. It's just silly stuff. And I think they were trying for a Pulp Fiction version of that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So the audience laughed at it pretty often.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you see Pulp Fiction? Perhaps. You could say that in your microphone if you want to.
All the way over here?
Yeah, way over
Felt
here.
like I was in a whole nother universe.
You were.
For those of you that are wondering why, I'm pretty distracted.
Very distracted.
I'm very distracted. I got a couple things going on, so we're going to have confessional right now.
Oh, my.
Filling out rental applications because we're moving.
We are moving.
We are moving.
Just
so
like Beth did at the beginning of this podcast.
Sympathy and a little bit of empathy to Beth on the multiple occasions that she's moved while we podcasted around her with her.
Oh, yeah.
So got that going on. Some really good friends of ours down the street just had like a little family altercation. So if we...
Yeah, we paused in the middle of it. So
there's like a pause and we come back and DJ doesn't sound... Well, it sounds less fluid than he normally does.
Bleh.
Probably because that.
We saw some fluid come out of somebody.
Yeah, a little chemical altercation and physical altercation.
Crazy.
But so a little bit distracted. My apologies. I'm not sure that I'm actually planning on going and seeing Upgrade.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that one. It's good. I liked it, but it is pretty violent. There's some weird stuff that goes on. And I think that, maybe Beth would like it, but yeah, do something else.
Yeah. I'm trying to I know what I want to see. It's the Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, yes.
Film. I really
Action
want to
Point.
see that. Action Point.
Yeah. You got to see it this week. Maybe tomorrow. Go see it tomorrow.
Maybe we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Between moving.
Yeah. I'm not planning on moving till after Friday. So I'm good. I'm good for now.
Yeah, that's probably good that after Friday because we still don't even have a place to move to.
Right? Well,
yeah, there's actually, I guess this is as good a place as any to plug the virtues of going and seeing not so real life on the big screen sometimes.
Yeah.
Kind of escape all these pressures of life. So
totally.
Yeah. But
cool.
Yeah, I think Action Point is another one. But we did see...
Adrift.
We teased... I don't remember who we teased, but they kept saying Adrift.
Oh.
And we kept saying a drip. There's no drip.
Yeah, I think that was your daughter Isabel.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably so.
But that was... Yeah, Adrift. That was a fairly good one. It was a true story.
Not to be confused with the drip.
Right. Not to be, it does take place in the water. You do see some dripping going on in this film. So I could see how that could happen. So let's talk favorite scenes, shall we?
Sure.
I'll start with my favorite scene was when Tammy, played by Shailene Woodley, you remember her from all the Divergent films. She was the lead actress in those.
Right.
Anyway, she first wakes up and finds herself standing on the boat after the hurricane and stuff. And immediately tries to fix the boat.
The boat.
Well, broken ship, I guess we could say. I don't know. So, but
do you remember the name of the boat?
I don't remember the name of the boat.
Lasagna.
Lasagna?
Lasagna.
Okay, I love lasagna.
Hazanya.
Enya. All right. But it really showed her resilience to overcome the obstacles that were being thrown at her. I think it showed right away. And I think perhaps earlier in the film when it shows her getting... what was she getting? She was arriving in a country and just saying, I'm going to do whatever I can.
Well, she was going in foreign countries, apparently.
Yes.
When you arrive by boat or by train, much like the United States, when you arrive by plane or train or boat, you go through customs and immigration. And she was at the immigration at the port, and the local guy was like, what's the nature of your visit? She's like, ooh. It's Tahiti. I'm here.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
What
well,
else?
what are you planning? Do you
What's
have
your
a place
final
to stay?
destination? Where are you going? Yeah.
And she just kind of went, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool. I would love to have done that in my teens and 20s. That would have been fun. What was your favorite scene in this film?
My favorite scene in this film would have to be... I'm trying to think back.
That's a lot of thinking.
There was a lot of... It was actually a good film. Not just a cool, exciting, whatever film, but it was good. So there's actually a lot
Yeah, there is
really
a lot.
good scenes.
I had trouble picking this one as well.
And I think my favorite scene was the point where the young man, I think his name was Will, asked Tammy, the young lady, if she wanted to have dinner with him. And he said, so I've got some fish that I just caught, and I'm going to grill it up. How do you...
It was Sam.
Sam, that's what it
Yeah.
was. How would you like me to cook yours? And she goes, well, I'm vegetarian. And he goes, well, I think I can do that. And she said, well, what are you going to make? And he goes, she said, do I need to go get something? He goes, yeah, some vegetables would be good.
Yeah. That was good. The part I really liked about that is it showed that those two characters were kind of adrift in their lives and just sort of met up with each other by chance.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That was super
Right.
duper deep.
Crazy, right? I think
was deepity deep.
I think I have that written down on my notebook that I wrote down that I have at the theater. And I didn't write it down in my show notes. I don't know why, but
Right, because that would have made sense.
yes, exactly. My takeaway from the film, I didn't think of a takeaway because it was a true story and it just happened, and I already know how to swim.
I think my takeaway is never underestimate the power of imagination and hallucinations.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty powerful. And, being a vegetarian won't help you out of the sea.
It'll make you not a vegetarian pretty quick.
Very quick. Yeah, no kidding. And that was one of my other favorite scenes, by the way, which her coming to terms with that she has to go kill a fish in order to survive.
Yep.
Yeah.
A poor, helpless fish are food, not friends.
Right? This was not a Disney film. What did I learn about from this film? Let's see. I learned about the story that was back in 1983, I believe is when it was. And I was like 7. So I was just learning about something that happened when I was learning about the love of filmmaking for myself. So what about for you?
I learned that Tammy is from San Diego,
Oh, yeah.
which was kind of exciting because
The audience went kind of crazy when she said that in the film.
And the other thing that was cool about this film, there was not an empty seat in the house.
No, there
It was
wasn't.
packed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely packed.
Everybody was looking forward to this, I think. And I'm wondering because she was from San Diego that a lot of people kind of knew about this story already. Because I think Tammy wrote a book, and this is based off of the book that she wrote.
Yeah, I'm going to go with you there and just say, yeah, that sounds about right.
But my overall impression is I really did like this film.
Even with the packed theater, it wasn't the number one film this week.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
No.
Wow. What was the number one film this week?
Weekend Actuals, Solo, A Star Wars Story, 29,396,000 $882.
Wow.
Deadpool 2,
What?
$23 million.
What?
$178,597.
Wow. Well, we were in a small theater, I guess.
And Adrift was $11,603.39.
Took a good take of that. That's good. So I'm curious how much it cost to make Adrift. I did notice like the CGI was pretty. It wasn't great, but it didn't take away from the story.
Yeah, it was
It was CGI.
noticeable.
Right. But, I mean, like I said, the story was still there. It was still good. Wow. So it took third place, which is still
Right.
not bad. I mean, $11 million for opening weekend on a film that's not like blockbuster, that type of film. Good. Very good.
Yeah, it was.
I like it. So challenge last week. Do you remember what it was? Did you?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? It was clips from The Naked Gun.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
now I do.
It all comes back to me now. Okay, so here's another one. This one. It's going to be a tough one, but
It's a toughie.
it's an oldie. 1986 is when this film came out. Here we go. Are you ready?
No, but do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Here we go. And
Billy! Dan, over here!
Can you really fly, Eric?
he's shaking his head yes. They just jumped off a building. And they're flying. All right. I know it seems pretty vague, but there's a minute of the scene, long scene. I picked out a 3-minute one earlier today. I was like, no, that's too long. Any ideas? Do you think you got this one?
I actually have zero idea.
Zero idea. 1986. This was a fun one, and it's something that. Okay, it's sort of fantasy because it's.
Oh no, I know what it is.
You know what it is now? All right.
It all just clicked.
Good.
I was actually really afraid of this movie. I hated this movie.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Hated it.
gosh! Wow.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. I was like, it was like the best thing since Superman. Okay.
Not so much for
Maybe,
me.
maybe not. Okay. Yeah, if you were afraid of this film, but yeah, great. Anyway, there it is. 512 podcast. Send us a text. Let us know what you think. I know if you're doing dishes or what have you, wait till you're done doing dishes, then send us a text. Wait till you're done driving.
Unless you have the hands-free voice-activated unit
Yes.
on either one of those situations.
That's right. Pre-program our phone number into your phone and then just say, hey, text thanks for watching.
Yeah, you got to train Siri or Cortana or whoever you
Whoever
got.
you have.
Googleina.
Googleina.
Just don't train the Vagoogle.
No, that's a different story altogether. And I know we have a new listener, which is...
One?
One more.
Yeah, we actually have a couple of new listeners.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Hi, listeners.
A young man named Angelo and his bright-eyed mommy.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, hi,
Who
Angelo.
happens to be a badass attorney. Like,
we got
superstar
attorneys.
status.
All right. Very cool. Well, hey, we have a Patreon account for all attorneys that would like to pledge. It's patreon.com
As long as you can
/
pay your bills before you do.
Please do. Yes. We do want you to have food on your table and a place to live. But patreon.com/TFW movies. It's that easy. Just go on in there.
Just like that.
Pick the $5, because this Wednesday we'll have a video up for you to watch.
The 5, the 10, the 20, the 100,
Well,
the
there's none.
sustaining
It's-
membership.
It's 1, 2,
Whatever
and
you
5.
want. See, I listen to NPR so much.
Oh, dear.
It's horrible. It's mind-numbing, actually, and I think that's why I like it, because
Yeah.
radio play, you hear the same songs over and over.
Right.
After a number of years of listening to NPR, it's the same thing. It's just news stories. It's mind-numbing.
Yeah. And it's the same story, just told from a different person's point of view.
Oh, no. It's the same story, period.
Period.
Like
Like
10 or
CNN.
12 times a day.
Right? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I used to really like the news a lot.
Yeah.
I heard about the Masterpiece Cake Supreme Court case today. And I thought,
Oh, yes.
what a great film that would make!
That will make a good
But by
film.
the end of the day, I was so sick and tired of hearing about Masterpiece Cake.
I bet.
I'm like,
I bet.
couldn't this guy just have made a freaking cake and
Right.
shut the hell up?
And just,
charge him triple? I don't care.
Right. Or why couldn't they just go somewhere else, because he doesn't need their business, and
Right.
and why
Why
give
fight the
him
man?
business?
Yeah.
Right?
Fight him.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah.
But hey, the lawyer mentality. I'm going to get you.
I guess it's the over litigious society.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, every attorney I've talked to we've all agreed I would never take that case, because
Nobody will.
I'm like, really?
That's why it was who was it? The ACLU that took it?
No, they probably funded it. But anyways,
Yeah.
I digress. But
yeah.
look for that in a film at some point.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, hey, we as far as Netflix goes, we just finished season 3 of Legends of Tomorrow, and I have to tell you,
Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow. It was interesting. It got a little weird around like the 10th episode, but it ended in episode 18. It ended, but it was
Oddly enough, and we're on episode 18.
That's so funny how that
And
is.
18.
Yes.
The triple 18. Good things are going to happen tomorrow,
Right?
kids.
I think so. Anyway, this is going to release on that day. On the 8th?
Sweet.
No, anyway. But just so you know, good film. I mean, good. I thought it was good. Binge watch worthy. Totally. I'm really liking it. The problem is, the 8th episode of all these DCs are connected. So like Supergirl, and Flash and Arrow, they're all connected in episode 8. So we got to episode 8 of Legends of Tomorrow and hadn't seen their episode 8s. So it seemed really out of place. So
I had no idea that 8 was the magic number.
it's the magic number.
I just thought 8 was a special number in blackjack.
Yeah, not just blackjack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Either
anyway,
hold or double down.
yeah. If I were you, I would skip 8 until you are ready to watch all of those, and that's just my recommendation.
So what happens if you have like a proclivity for patterns,
Yeah,
or you're obsessive? Like you can't watch 7 then 9. You got to watch 7 then
Well,
8 then 9. So do you
that's
have to go
true.
back through all the other series and get everyone
You have
aligned
to.
at 8?
Yes, you do. And here's the odd thing: 8 is pretty significant for something that happens after. So you kind of don't want to lose it. So you might want to stop at 8 until all of your shows are ready.
Oh my goodness!
I know.
It's a lot of pressure.
It is. It really is. I wish I had done that, but I didn't.
So here's an idea for one of you listeners out there who has or has not a lot of time on their hands, or has a job where you're going to get a paycheck every month, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
You could create an app that would allow people to watch all the way up to 8 and remind them don't watch past 8, and then which movies in which order to watch it, so it all makes sense when you get to episode 8
Yeah.
of
The DC comic world.
the DC Legends of Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. You're right. And then we'll talk a little bit later
when we finished the season, but we just started Westworld, which is on HBO. So
haven't heard anything about it.
yeah, it was recommended by people at work. So I thought, all right, well, we'll check it out. So Penny and I have just started that one. So we'll see how that goes. We've only seen part of the first season, or the first episode, just because it was late. We had to go to bed. It was really late.
Jackie and I started watching a series. Oddly enough, my wife does not watch much in the way of television. I'm pulling it up now because I'm drawing it blank. I could tell you the whole thing and pull a DJ on you, but I will save you from that.
Aww.
And myself too, because I'm not that good. It's called An Hour to Save Your Life.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's actually
Just
really
by the
good.
title.
They take three medical cases a week or per episode where people are critically injured.
Oh.
And there's actually an algorithm in there. You've got less chance that you're going to die on that show than not.
Oh, okay.
So it's real life people in England, actually in London and surrounding areas, and they use some pretty innovative medical techniques.
Oh.
Like they're bringing battlefield medic training to the streets of London. It's actually pretty cool.
That sounds cool.
Another one that
What's it called again?
it is called An Hour to Save Your Life.
An Hour to Save Your Life. Okay.
Another one that I started watching is called Happy Valley. I'm having a hard time getting into it.
Okay.
Just saying. I finished the last episode of White Collar, and all of the new Shooter episodes. And last night I watched with my son Sam Survivor's Guide to Prison with Danny Trejo. Very good. A lot of conspiracy type theories, but really a film. And I think it was designed to make you think, and that's exactly what it does. It gives information that, as an attorney, it's like, duh. But pre-attorney, I don't think I would have thought about those things. Like, just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth.
Just quiet.
No matter what happens, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing to nobody, and then you can't get in trouble.
Right. Oh, that makes sense.
You don't have anything to prove.
There you go.
So, yeah. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here that I have seen, and I am not seeing anything. It was kind of a slow week.
Yeah.
A little bit of a slow week for me.
Got it.
But, yeah. So the Hour to Save Your Life is actually considered a documentary because it's a reality TV, but they're documenting those techniques. So there's my my take.
I love it. Awesome. Okay, so let's move on to next week's releases. Stuff we're going to definitely see. Ocean's 8 comes out. Absolutely. Love those ladies. It's going to be a good one. Hotel Artemis. Cannot wait to see that one. Jodie Foster's in that one. And she looks like she's going to, kick ass and take names is what she's going to do.
So here's one. Fred Rogers. We're going to have a little Fred Rogers.
Yes. Yes. He
Won't You
comes
Be
out
My
too.
Neighbor?
Won't You Be My Neighbor?
What a great guy.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that there's not like a Me Too thing about Fred Rogers, because that would totally crush my world.
That would.
I love Fred Rogers.
Yeah. I hope not. I hope nothing like that. I don't think it's gonna, because he just is painted as sort of a saint. And I didn't know him other than what I saw on television. He definitely taught me to be a nice guy. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
And then there's 2036 Origin Unknown. So all those are coming out this weekend. And so it's going to be a busy weekend.
I'm saying that Heredity
Yes.
Hereditary.
Is that's coming out this weekend, or is it the following weekend?
June 8th.
June 8th. Okay.
8th.
Hereditary.
And I haven't-
Heredity. Yeah. Isn't it a horror film? I think that's
Looks
horror.
like it.
That one might be a Beth film,
I think that might be.
but with Movie
Because
Pass,
I don't think that you or my wife would be down for that movie.
not really a happy. I don't do horror films. Not so much. And especially if it's ghost related, definitely not. Not
Yeah,
fun.
so if any listeners out there just want to have a little bit of fun and
Yes.
and you want to share a story,
Yes,
feel free to call in
yes,
and leave a message about your story, and we will
Totally.
share it on the show.
we will absolutely.
So, good ghost stories, ready, set,
Ghost.
go.
Ghosts. Future openings, shall we talk? Like June 15th, we already talked about
That's
it a
a
little
good
bit.
weekend.
Yeah, Incredibles 2 and Tag. I think we mentioned this last week, so that's what's coming on. June 22nd, though, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
And everyone's going to think I'm a jerk, but I'm just not a big fan of Jurassic.
No?
Oh, maybe it was the overhype when it first came out.
Maybe.
I'm still not over that fact. It's good. Blah blah blah. I'm with Keen on this one.
Oh.
A little predictable.
Yeah. And, well, the thing is dinosaurs are cool. But, and here's my thing. Here's why I like them so much. I've actually worked with some of the crew members that worked on Jurassic Park, the original, like the very first one. So I feel like I have a little tie. And I'm not like, it sounds like I'm name dropping, but I'm not.
You are.
And maybe a little bit. But really, I worked on the other films that just didn't go anywhere, so it's not that big of a deal. But the crew people or crew members were really neat. And then last one, unless you have something you want to mention, on July 6th, Ant-Man and Wasp.
Well, actually, yeah, there was a movie. It's later in the month. It's towards the end of the month on
Yeah.
the 29th is Sicario.
Oh, yes. That's getting a big buzz. I bet that's going to hit number one. When
I mean,
comes
it's, we've got some pretty heavy hitters in there.
Well, did you see the first one? Because isn't that Sicario 2?
Yeah, and I haven't seen Sicario 1, so I should probably see that.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it as well, just so I can, get that one. I wish they'd do a double feature, because I'd probably go do that.
They probably will, but they'll do it like some of these other goofy ones where it's like, oh yeah, it's been out for 6 months. Let's do a double. Really?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you got?
Like what they're doing with that
Jumanji.
Jumanji, yeah, which the 11th and 12th, right? Or
Right.
10th and 11th. Let me get my facts straight. Oh, I have it written down because it was last week's show notes. 10th and 11th. Oh, I'm glad I forgot to do that part. Yay. Anyway. Hey, guys, audience, I want to say thank you for listening, and especially our newbies and our oldies. Is that how that works?
Yep.
Oldies.
Thanks
Yeah.
for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for any of those senses you bring
yes.
and lend to us for
Right.
less than an hour a week.
Totally. And next up, I want to thank Joshua Struthers, Big Checho, King Louie. Hello?
He
Is
was
this thing
mixing
on?
a couple of thank yous.
Yes. King Louie, Brandon Genovese, Jimmy Harris, Beth Labine. Thank you, Adrian Rondo, Jackie Harris, and Penny McGee. That being said, that's a wrap.
Good night.